he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. He wants to make some money. He could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the one guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
about not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
You can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Can you miss? And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit.
Mike Tyson says Floyd Mayweather would get destroyed by Alexander Usyk if they ever fought. Speaking with Shaq on his podcast, Tyson explained that Floyd makes heavyweight money without ever facing real heavyweight threats. He added that Floyd will always return to boxing solely for the money, not for tough challenges. According to Tyson, Floyd will carefully choose easy opponents if he returns, avoiding anyone truly dangerous like Usyk.
I'm going with heavyweight.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Floyd feels like in a different category completely.
He made heavyweight money, but I'm talking about the heavyweight slugger.
Yes. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the heavyweights again.
Huh?
Speaking of
No,
Floyd,
it's going to come back again. Always come back.
Speaking of Floyd, him and Roy Jones been going back and forth. If they were to fight, give me your opinion on who you think would win and why. And would people want to see that fight now?
Well, listen, people are all going to hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the one guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
about not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
Alexander Usyk has reached a point in his career where nothing more is needed to validate his greatness. With an Olympic gold medal and a track record of beating the best, including Anthony Joshua twice, Usyk has earned the right to walk away from the sport on his own terms. Still, the boxing world buzzes with talk of who he could face next.
Which he doesn't have to do probably because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing. And if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, you know, like crossover fight with an ex-MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way. But as Addy said, pounds and pence and dollars are what count in this game.
Andy, have you spoken, or has Spencer Brown or Frank spoken to you? Because to be fair to Frank, I've spoken to Frank twice since the fight, and he does always say it's Joseph Parker next. It's Joseph Parker next, and he says it with a bit of force as well, as though he's promised you guys that you will be next in line. Has there been a conversation with Frank as to what happens with Joseph? Because I almost feel sorry for Joseph now. It's got to the stage where every time I see Joseph, I'm like, okay, look, when are you going to fight? When are you going to fight? And he has this face of, I don't know. And it's upsetting for me as well just to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him and for us as a team, but I had a brief conversation with Frank Warren as we were walking back from the ring. I said, it has to be Joe, and he said, we're going to push for Joseph. And Spencer Brown, he said, we're going to push for Joseph. David Higgins, we're going to push for Joseph. But you can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Joseph Parker is one possible option being discussed, although nothing official has been confirmed. Several other heavyweights are eager to get a shot at him, but Usyk has said publicly that he only has one fight left in him. That statement alone has made the mystery of his next opponent even more intense.
The will has to be on Usyk's side. The will for Joe is there. He'd fight anybody, and as he's shown. But the will has to be, and the want has to be on Usyk's team.
Put your fighter hat on for me if you can, Andy. Again, I mean, I saw. It's funny because the video of Dubois getting knocked out, there's you and Joe in the background, and I can see both of your reactions. When you're watching that, I mean, again, you've seen some of the best heavyweights in the world. You've been in camp with some of the best heavyweights in the world. When you're watching that, Are you watching it like myself and thinking, okay, this is an all-time great you're seeing?
First and foremost, I watched it as a fan and I enjoyed the fight. And I thought Dubois started really well. But there's something about Usyk, isn't it? And just this change. After round 1, round 2, Dubois was having some success, landing right hands.
Usyk has never been known to dodge challenges or stall negotiations. He is respected not just for his skill, but for his willingness to fight anyone at any time. While other boxers often enter drawn-out discussions, media hype, and promotional delays, Usyk keeps things simple. Once he agrees to a fight, he gets to work without games. His reputation as a no-nonsense warrior has made him one of the most respected names in boxing, admired by both fans and promoters for always stepping up without excuses.
The one thing I would say that we have to appreciate from Usyk is how he's so willingly down to fight anybody, right? Typically in boxing, you look at how boxing is structured. You have the Ali Act where a fighter could be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. Okay, well, we're going to strip you of your belt since you don't want to, defend that belt, right? How long does it take us to get a Gervonta Davis to fight, maybe a Devin Haney, or a Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else, right? It takes fucking forever. But now when it comes to Usyk, Usyk, he's the champion. Okay, your next title, the person you have to defend against is Dubois. Perfect. Send me the contract. I will be ready. Yeah. You don't get that nowadays in boxing. You don't fucking get that. But when he fights, that's one thing I love about him.
Just beating Daniel Dubois in a rematch, the younger guy, and he's made it look easier against him and schooled him and destroyed him. That is the pinnacle of skill in boxing. That's the pinnacle of the fucking sport.
Being a 3-time undisputed champion across different levels isn't something that happens by accident. Usyk's journey from cruiserweight to heavyweight wasn't just about putting on weight. It was about evolving as a fighter and proving he could beat the best, no matter their size. His back-to-back victories over elite heavyweights like Anthony Joshua showcase his ability to outthink and outwork physically bigger opponents. Beyond boxing, Usyk also served his country during wartime, putting his career on hold. That choice alone shows a different kind of bravery. He is not only skilled, but a true athlete who stands for discipline, heart, and honor. Many analysts have begun placing Usyk in conversations that usually include names like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Though they competed in different weight classes, Usyk's dominance, adaptability, and legacy make him comparable to those iconic fighters. What sets him apart is how effortlessly he shifted across divisions and still remained undefeated. His technical intelligence and strategic awareness remind fans of Floyd, while his courage and fighting spirit bring Manny to mind. This level of respect from experts indicates that Usyk isn't just a top name of this era. He belongs among the all-time greats.
How high is Alexander Usyk all-time on the GOAT list? I've seen a lot of debate that he's top 5 already, top 10, shouldn't be in the top 10 yet. So here's my thoughts on it. I think you can put him anywhere from like number 4 to number 10 all-time, but he should definitely be in everyone's top 10. 2-division undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he probably has the 2 best undisputed runs of the 4-belt era. At cruiserweight, he beat everyone in enemy territory. Glowacki in Poland, Briedis in Latvia, Gassiv in Russia, Bellew in the UK. At heavyweight, he beat all the Brits, mostly on enemy territory twice. Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Of that post-Mayweather Pacquiao era, I think he's definitely the greatest. Now, I have Usyk number 8. For reference, I have Floyd 1, Manny 2, Ali 3, Robinson 4, Duran 5, Leonard 6, Roy Jones 7, and then Usyk at 8. I know there's a whole debate right now about Usyk and Ali. Of course, Usyk's more skilled than Ali, but I think Ali's resume is greater, which is why I have him higher. But I'm curious to know how high people have Usyk now all time, without recency bias.
Floyd Mayweather has built a career around smart decisions inside and outside the ring. Analysts believe that if a fight promises high earnings and low risk, Floyd will take it. He's known for being highly calculated, always studying who he's facing. He chooses his opponents carefully, ensuring they fit into a strategy of preserving his undefeated record. This method has earned him massive paydays, but also makes it clear that Floyd isn't likely to enter a match where the danger outweighs the reward. If there's money on the table and control of the terms, Floyd may return, but not without carefully picking his opposition.
Yeah, you're fighting the best fighter in the world. Yeah. And you're figuring out a strategy of not how do I win, but how do I last?
Yeah, and that was the strategy. I had a good idea that I wasn't gonna be able to knock him out.
No, but that's not the goal with a guy like that. No, but Floyd is the most precise and Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes, it doesn't matter. Right. Floyd only cares about the points. Yeah. If the fight is entertaining, it's for him, him, it's just a strategy. Yeah. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. You know, beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
That's how Floyd is.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest
Every
ever?
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single.
Joe Rogan has often praised Floyd Mayweather for his defensive genius. In one of his discussions, he explained how Floyd can stand right in front of an opponent and still remain untouchable. He doesn't need to move much or throw flashy punches. His timing, shoulder rolls, and subtle movements make him nearly impossible to hit cleanly. This style of fighting frustrates opponents and forces them into mistakes. Rogan noted that even when it looks like Floyd is idle, he's mentally controlling the rhythm of the fight. His defense isn't just physical, it's psychological.
It's all like slight slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right? You don't want to move too far. You're wasting a lot of energy and you can't counterattack. One of the best things about Floyd, and one of the most brilliant things about him, he's one of the most elusive fighters of all time, but he didn't move around. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of technique. In my opinion, he's the best boxer that's ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to rank people, but I watched when he was making that ascent towards it. It ended up being 50, you know.
He just fought last weekend. This weekend, yeah, he fought a match against John Gotti's grandson, which is crazy.
That's scary for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, right? But this is the second time they fought. The first time they fought, it ended in a brawl. Like a bunch of people jumped in the ring. It was crazy because they stopped the fight because they were talking too much shit to each other and holding on to each other too much. So the referee stopped the fight. For whatever reason, I don't know. And in this fight was even crazy too because the first referee was terrible. And the referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. Absolutely incorrect call. Floyd threw a right hand and it caught him on the side of the head, and the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also, it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Fuck you? You know, I'm going to stop the fight? Like, also, they're in Mexico City. Like, you could get killed. Like, just get out of the ring, buddy. So Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100%.
Usyk's footwork is a thing of beauty. Adam Catterall once compared it to ballet, and the comparison is surprisingly accurate. He glides around the ring with fluid movement, keeping his balance perfect while constantly changing angles. His opponents struggle to track him down, often looking stiff and clumsy in contrast. His rhythm, pacing, and movement confuse even the most experienced fighters. He's fast without rushing and aggressive without being reckless. Heavyweights known for their power more than their speed simply can't keep up with his elegance and control.
And I did notice his foot movement. He was just moving. He was just moving away, so Dubois couldn't hit him.
Couldn't get near it.
And then when he was punching Dubois, he made him look like in football terms, he made him look like a non-league player. He made him look bad.
Mate, that's the beauty of Alexander Usyk. His training with his little mate Vasyl Lomachenko, they came through the pro ranks together, well, amateur and pro ranks together, and their training regimes are completely off the textbook. They don't do it like everybody else does it. There's a lot of ballet, for example, that they use. There's a lot of gymnastics. There's a lot of different techniques in their training that they incorporate into the game. And you can see it with the way that he fights. He is like a brutal ballerina. His footwork is absolutely sensational. What he does, he stands in range just enough, so therefore the guy that he is fighting believes that he's going to get hit in a moment, so therefore mentally you're constantly working, and therefore you're throwing at times where he's then making you miss, and because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit. Hitting and not getting hit.
Lennox Lewis, one of the most respected heavyweights of all time, recently shared his thoughts on Usyk. He said he would have loved the challenge of facing Usyk in the ring. According to Lennox, no current fighter has managed to figure Usyk out, but he believes he could have. That statement shows how highly Lennox regards Usyk as a puzzle too complex for today's heavyweights. The fact that a legend like Lewis feels the need to comment on Usyk's dominance only adds to his growing legacy.
Couldn't catch this IFL TV. Appreciate Lennox stopping. A stunning win there for Alexander Usyk tonight here at Wembley. What did you make of it?
Great win. You know, he did the right things. He did a lot of good things in the fight. I thought Daniel came out a bit too strong. You know, should have taken his time, especially the first round. And, you know, he was overreaching a little bit and he got caught.
Is there anyone on this planet, an active fighter, that can beat this man? He's got back-to-back wins or double wins over Fury, Joshua, and now Dubois. I mean, it's phenomenal coming up from cruiserweight.
It's phenomenal. I wish I was in this era to box, because I would have loved to box him. And, I can't see why nobody can't figure him out. I would be able to figure him out. Oh, yeah, Usyk is the best of this era. And he does the right things. He moves well. He doesn't get hit. And he's elusive. And he's hard to beat.
Lennox, just the final one. What would be your advice to Daniel Dubois? He's come back from losses before, obviously Joe Joyce, etc. But what would your advice be to this 27-year-old lion?
Keep up with boxing. This shouldn't. He should learn from this and bring it to the next fight. I don't think he should quit. I think he's got a long, good life in boxing.
Lennox, much appreciate your time this week. Have you got anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, Lennox Lewis is the best. I lay them all to rest. I'm the pugilist specialist. Nobody can test.
Love that. Top man. Thank you.
Chris Algieri, a former champion and analyst, gave a strong endorsement of Usyk's abilities. He said Usyk doesn't just win. He makes world-class opponents look average. His command of distance, timing, and strategy puts him on a different level. According to Algieri, Usyk has no real threats in this generation of heavyweights. His style doesn't rely on brute strength, but on outthinking and outclassing whoever steps in front of him. That rare mix of calm and dominance makes him unique in today's boxing world. Usyk's entire journey has been defined by his willingness to do things the hard way. From his early days in the cruiserweight division to becoming the unified heavyweight champion, he never took shortcuts. He didn't wait for his opponents to grow old or lose form. He faced them at their best. This attitude has earned him respect from fans, fighters, and critics alike. He didn't build his legacy by padding his record, but by challenging himself against the strongest names available.
Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois! I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game. He's missed it! It's over! It's over! Fucking impossible time! Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Alexander Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Alexander Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out, and Alexander Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up, and immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his father. I think at the time it was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect, and I think he was disrespected there, and I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now in the first round, Alexander Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Paulie Malignaggi, a respected voice in boxing analysis, offer high praise for Alexander Usyk following one of his most impressive performances. Known for his sharp technical breakdowns, Malignaggi described Usyk's showing as one of the finest examples of modern boxing mastery. He emphasized that Usyk's footwork isn't just fast, it's highly intelligent. Usyk constantly shifts angles, subtly adjusting his stance and balance to control the tempo of the fight. This makes it nearly impossible for opponents to anticipate his movement or land clean shots. Malignaggi noted that Usyk's ability to stay one step ahead forces fighters to overcommit or hesitate, often creating perfect openings for counterattacks. What makes Usyk even more dangerous is that he doesn't rely solely on power or knockouts. Instead, he systematically breaks his opponents down using precision, rhythm, and spatial awareness. In Malignaggi's view, This combination of mental and physical discipline sets Usyk apart from everyone else in the sport.
Dubois in their rematch stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Alexander Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So I mean, back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight, you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.